Morning, everybody. So, with the Italian battleships being super tested at the moment, you every once in a while see a super tester playing, for example, the Christopher Colombo in the public matches, etc. But because of the NDAs, super testers aren't allowed to show or record any footage, etc., etc. Now, my clanmate, Lenol, he owns the Roma, which is one of the current two Italian battleships that you can buy. Well, you can't buy the Julio Cesar anymore at tier 5. You can still get the Roma, I believe. Roma, beautiful, beautiful ship, beautiful model. And Lenol sent this one through and he said to me, have a look at this replay. Incredibly questionable decisions made by his team, but we managed to pull it out. It's a long one, it's 20 minutes, but it's worth seeing it right through to the end. I hope you guys enjoy this. With second waves of COVID spreading through the world, I just want to keep mentioning, please tell somebody you love them. Please be there for your friends. If you can't be there physically for them, put on the webcam, Skype them, phone them, tell them that you love them. Hope everybody has a fantastic day. Hope you enjoy this replay. Take care. Cheers. All right. So as we said in the intro, this is my clanmate Lenol. Lenol has sent through some really good replays previously. And he's in his Roma. Now, the Roma it's a good ship. I wouldn't say it's overpowered. You don't see it really that often in tier 8 anymore. And there's one big reason for it. The Roma's dispersion, the Sigma as it's called, is incredibly trolly. If you wanna see a really funny video around the Roma, YouTube for Euro Roma pizza pasta or something like that. And there he does one of his famous Euro videos around the Roma. And he'll show you exactly. One salvo completely brackets a ship. The next salvo dev strikes a ship. You can't make this up. But I will tell you one thing. It is an incredibly beautiful model. Christmas is coming up. If somebody wants to gift one for their favorite YouTuber or Twitch guys, find me on Twitch/FailconXX. People ask, what's the double X? I'm like, yeah, I was double XL because I'm a big oak, but I left the L out, so I'm just FailconXX. Anyway, I like the model. And you know what? We give Wargaming a lot of shit. We really do give them a lot of shit for some questionable decisions. The Santa crates being one. I will tell you one thing. The art department at Roma... Sorry. The art department at Wargaming really did a good job on the Roma. If you look at this model, it is just so incredibly well done. Enemy force detected. So it's a standard battle with only 2 cap circles, and I've been seeing this happening more and more. Sorry, that awkward silence was me just cleaning my glasses. See, Lenol is moving towards the island, sort of on the 4 line, and that's a good spot for a battleship. You can cover and shoot between the islands there, down the 4 line, down the 5 line. More central positioning is better for your ship. Just look at that dispersion. So that dispersion looks really good. He gets 3 hits and 5,000 on a Akatsuki, which takes almost a quarter of its health away. Now that Akatsuki is playing a bit of a dangerous game there, but Lenol's team unfortunately loses a Kagero to an it was the high school fleet Graf Speed that killed it. And now they've lost their eyes. Another 2 overpens and a pen for 3,600. And let's hope that this Farragut moving in here can make some sort of play. Unfortunately, Farragut is a bit down-tiered and therefore probably not going to chance it. We do see that the CV is also attempting. And obviously it is a priority to try and get that Akatsuki down. Oh, and it just brackets him. Now the Akatsuki still had to dodge and weave. Unfortunately goes dark as the CV's planes were shot out. Oh, those are Kansas shells incoming. Oof, 7,500 damage to Lenol from the Kansas. But one of the great things about the Italian battleships, which I also enjoy about my Julio Cesar, especially at tier 5, is the speed. And there's a key. And the key is showing full broadside. And unfortunately, the infamous Roma dispersion. Oof, and he loses 15,000 in that salvo. And there's an Atlanta B. And with very little support here, I do not blame Lenol for damage controlling that double those fires, as well as just sailing straight away from that Atlanta B. With no way to dumpster him, he is just going to sit there and farm. The Atlanta B is obviously got... Oh, and it takes another 15.5 of the key. That was a good shot. Now, this is perfect matchmaking for an Atlanta B. This guy is super lucky. It's a 6-8 match, and he can sit behind that island and just farm anything that needs to come into range of his multitude of guns. Now, obviously, the Atlanta B was part of the Black Friday containers. I was unlucky enough not to get an Atlanta B. Not a ship I really wanted. I wanted the Cossack B, and I managed to pull the Cossack B out. And we can see Lenol is angling away here more towards the center. His team is falling back. The Richelieu, I don't know what he's doing. He is reversing in C2. And he's got a Gneiss now also going back. And a Farragut that seems to be more interested in shadowing him than anything else. Farragut is at least using his guns, but every time he uses his guns, he becomes visible, and something is going to smack him. There's a Bismarck here. Lenol's waiting for the Bismarck to turn to give him more broadside. Unfortunately, he sails straight into the Gneiss now. Both of them focusing on their enemies and not quite seeing where the other one's going. We've all made that mistake. And the infamous Roma dispersion. Either the dispersion is beautiful or it trolls you. And unfortunately, more times than others, it trolls you. Now everybody seems to be focusing that Bismarck, because that was a brave play of him coming straight into the middle there. Then of course you've got the Mr. Clicker, the guy that's going to be clicking on the map and telling everybody how to play the game. Now this Bismarck is actually doing an incredibly aggressive push here. The rest of the enemy team seems to have pushed up to the 2 and the 3 line and coming around that island. What they are not noticing is the gap in the 8 line, where Lenol's team has done a strong push as he takes about 6k off that Roma. This Unshun is supporting this Bismarck by moving up. Unfortunately, every time he gets spotted, somebody chunks him for a little bit of health as well. You can see Lenol is already focusing, changing from the Bismarck to the Unshun. Oh, and he gets a really nice hit. The Bismarck unfortunately kills the Pensacola. Dallas kills the Bismarck. That Richelieu up there, valiant stand. Richelieu is a really good ship. I do enjoy mine quite often, but he is going to get farmed. Just too many ships. There's an Akatsuki, HSF Graf Spee. And this Lowenhart is still trying to dumpster this Anshan to get him out of here. And it is at the moment the biggest danger, is having a destroyer up close. Now keep an eye on the Gepard in the F7 square. He's already almost at the enemy cap circle. This Anshan engine out, and Lenol manages to kill him. Unfortunately, the enemy Akatsuki has taken out friendly Richelieu. Lenol's team is still 1 kill behind. Biggest problem with that Richelieu dead is, as he sails now into this sort of top western, let's call it the northwestern area of the map, he is now the focus of everybody's attention. He's got the Kansas moving in. He had the HSF High School Fleet Graf Spee moving, and he's got that Akatsuki as well. And then if you look in the 4 line, he's got Colorado as well. Friendly Kansas managed to kill that Atlanta B.
Concentrate fire on the enemy warship.
And the guy says, "Oh, are you supposed to play the French DD?" That's him in his Gepard, and he got exploded. But I have a Gepard video for you on my channel. Pop around, have a look. I'll show you how to play the Gepard. It's a fun little boat. The Le Fantasque. I stole its coal module for speed for my Marceau. And yeah, it's Le Fantastique is an interesting ship. Hopefully it gets better as I get to the Mogador and the Kleber. And he gets 2 penetrations when on that Colorado, when the dispersion isn't actually trolling him. And that was a good 8,000. Now they are trying to pound on this poor Farragut and this Dallas. And the guys now that's protecting the cap circle. If friendly Fiji has already moved into the enemy cap circle, and we can see it's starting to turn. Lenol's team has also turned the tides on the ship kills. They are 5 kills versus 4. And the Akatsuki has now started shooting at Lenol in his Roma. It's a brave play as Lenol has switched over to high explosives. And he gets 2 hits and incapacitation. And the Lowenhart CV is trying to dumpster on him again. The Akatsuki has obviously not turned off his AA and thus gets spotted. And you can see there was a couple of hits there. The Lowenhart also used his brain and put his fighters over the spot where the Akatsuki was. Unfortunately, with the Kansas moving in, Kansas AA takes care. Kansas tier 8. Lowenhart tier 6. Kansas can relatively easy take out his fighters that was there. And of course now with the smoke and the fighters gone, the Akatsuki starts his smoke firing again. Akatsuki kills the friendly Farragut. Ooh, and that dispersion just trolls Lenol. He switched to firing HE, mostly because he needed to get rid of that. He needed to get rid of the Akatsuki. Unfortunately, they're driving away the Dallas, the Yamaki, and the Ganais now. And the closest thing to all of them is now Lenol in his Roma. So there's a Colorado, a Kansas high school fleet, Graf Spee, as well as this Akatsuki. And he manages to set double fires on the Kansas again. Now, you'll remember he said, about 30 seconds ago, he said double fires on the Kansas. Kansas damage controlled that, and I'm not going to ridicule the Kansas for that, because double fires, yeah, you put those out. Single fire is what you let burn. But now he has to wait for his damage control, and that's going to take probably about another 30 seconds to a minute to come through. And then he'll be able to damage control those fires. Now the Akatsuki's smoke has dissipated. Friendly Amagi manages to kill the Colorado. And it's 6 ships on each side. Luckily, Lenol's team is 100 points ahead. And that has been because of the Kansas and the Fiji, etc. that is kept moving into the enemy's cap circle. And as you can see there, and the moment you're in their cap circle, they don't tick any points. So as you can see, they're staying at 403, while Lenol's team is 507. I'll tick up to 509. Unfortunately, Lenol is the only visible thing close to it now. And as he turns away, he hits the border. He has to turn away while the Graf Spee shoots at him. Biggest threat on the HSF Graf Spee is the torpedo launchers at the rear. They've got a great angle. It's only got 6 guns. Reload isn't great.
Thank you.
The Lowenhart manages to take out a enemy Amagi, and that Amagi seems to be the one that was giving the Kansas the greatest amount of hassles while he was delaying the cap points gathering. Lenol's team gets that message. Battle ends in 5 minutes. He's now still being chased by the High School Fleet Graf Spee as well as the Kansas. Oof, and he takes 10k off the Graf Spee as the dispersion doesn't troll him for once. The Amagi unfortunately left a fire on the Kansas, and he gets a flesh wound as well as arsonist. Ooh. And with so little HP left, there's no way that Lenol could actually let that fire burn. Another 13,000 off. That was 3 pens and 3 overpens on the Graf Spee. Graf Spee is really pushing him. And they are now chasing him all over this map. The Gneisenau now has moved up though. Oof. 3 ricochets off the Graf Spee. The Gneisenau now has abandoned him on this side and is heading for the enemy cap circle. Unfortunately, there is now something in Lenol's team's cap circle, and they can afford a little bit of delay. They are 531 points up versus 407. So they've got a lead of about 120, roughly 120 points. And Lenol hits the border again as he's just trying to remain away from the Graf Spee. Speak under correction, I think the Graf Spee's torpedoes are 6 kilometers. The Lowenhart manages a torpedo strike on the Graf Spee. And Lenol manages a Citadel with the last 500 points. And he gets his second kill of the match. Now, he's got 17,500 hit points left versus 32, I'm going to call it 32,500 hit points on this Kansas. The Amagi, the friendly Amagi, has returned. And there's the torpedoes from the Graf Spee. $12,300. The Gneisenau manages to secondary the Hatsuharu and kill him. Unfortunately, the Akatsuki has burnt down the Lowenhart, and he is now in the cap circle. Lowenhart had rocket planes out before he went down, and he gets a flesh wound by killing the Akatsuki. So now it's 2 versus 4, and with the help of the Amagi, Lenol's Roma dispersion doesn't let him down, and he manages to kill himself a Kansas. And somebody types the awesome Roma, and it is awesome. I really sometimes do wish I had the funds for the Roma. If anybody wants to feel generous to your local Twitch/YouTuber, Falcon XX North American server. Unfortunately, we see the enemy Furious take care of the Dallas that was on Lenol's team. So it is 3 battleships versus a Furious carrier, Furious CD. That's what I wanted to say. Furious has found himself a spot behind an island there. Lenol remembers that he has a spotter plane on the Roma as well. Launches him. Hopes that the Furious is spotted again. There they go. Furious looks like he's standing stationary. That dispersion actually looks good. That dispersion looks very, very good for the Roma. 9,000 damage. Unfortunately, time is running out. They got 20 seconds in the match. Five seconds. And the match ends. Have a look at the post-battle stats here. We can see 140,000 damage done. Confederate, as well as Dreadnought for Lenol, 3 kills, 550,000 credits made. And if we can look at the team standings, that holding off the team, a couple of times bumping it to the border, was enough to actually get Lenol top of the team. We noticed that the Lowenhart and the Farragut, they were in a division together, and they were Unicums, as well as the Hatsuharu on the enemy team was from KIA. So a really, really good result in what is quite a stacked game. Lenol, thanks so much for sending this through. I hope everybody enjoyed it. We don't see the Roma often, but when you do, she can still pack a punch. Take care, everybody. Cheers.